I'm David Spitz. I'm president COO of RebelMouse, which is a startup down in Soho in the publishing technology space. I spent most of my career in marketing, so one of our key audiences is marketers who are becoming publishers, and I'll show you a couple of examples of that. The founder and CEO was formerly the CTO of Huffington Post, and a lot of the investors are the same investors as the investor group behind Huffington Post, BuzzFeed, a bunch of other companies in the content space. It's a very kind of an amazing time to be doing anything related to content, whether you're a journalist or a marketer, as you guys all know. We're moving from this stage of quick burst interruptive messaging, or I guess Jeremy and I actually went to college together. You wouldn't believe it. By looking at him, he looks like my father, and I look like his son or something. But I look extremely young. But we worked on the newspaper together, and we published the thing once a week, literally by hand. We left the room every Thursday evening with glue on our hands, and so much has changed since then. I hope RebelMouse is a good example of that. So it's a self-serve software application that we also provide to large enterprises, but there's a free site where you can log into RebelMouse.com. So I hope later tonight you go home and you all create your RebelMouse sites. I'll show you mine. You can put it anywhere. I'm on RebelMouse.com/David Spitz, but I'm also on DavidSpitz.com. And I've just replaced, I used to have a WordPress and a Tumblr and other things. I've just replaced all of that with RebelMouse, not just because I work there, but I'll show you why. So it pulls together all of my social feeds. So I just logged in a couple minutes ago with my Twitter account, but it also pulls in my Facebook account, Pinterest, LinkedIn, all my social feeds, as well as gives me the ability in the background to publish original content. So it's a full blogging platform as well as an aggregator. And this is how most consumers are using it. It's sort of Pinterest-like, so it's very mobile responsive. I don't know if I can adjust the browser, but it displays beautifully on tablets as well as on iPhones, etc. And to give you a snapshot, instead of bringing a slide, I just put the slide onto this page here. So what is RebelMouse? We have a content creation and curation platform, like I said, aggregation of social feeds as well as the ability to publish original feeds on the left. And then on the right, we connect into any sort of digital media, into native apps on your phone, into websites such as these, into ad units. I'll show you a great example of that. We send out email messages from the RebelMouse platform, and we send out messaging alerts into your Twitter account. So it's a really channel-agnostic publishing solution as opposed to the first generation of blogging platforms, which are really very website-centric. So it's not just me who's using this type of platform. There's people like Ann Curry, who's a journalist like yourself. She uses it to tell the story behind the story, essentially on her RebelMouse. It's hosted on NBCnews.com. Time Magazine used RebelMouse, just embedded it on their Person of the Year page. Very easily, you drop in one line of code, and all of a sudden the page comes to life with social conversations around the story. There's also a whole new breed of media companies that's launching on RebelMouse, and maybe some of you will be inspired to start a company like this one, which is called The Dodo. It launched about 6 weeks ago, and it's 100% powered by RebelMouse. You can see it's a beautiful, very modern, mobile responsive design. It looks even better on iPhones and on tablets than even it does on desktop. You see the GIFs play in line. But what's really unique about the platform is that you see people here who have contributed their own stories. So anyone can log in and become a contributor to the Dodo through Facebook or Twitter. So this article was contributed by Pink. I guess she's a celebrity contributor, but she has her own profile page on the Dodo where she's talking about Pink to Mayor de Blasio. Thanks on behalf of Carrot Shores. It's interesting. So that's how publishers, media companies are using RebelMouse as sort of a next generation platform to reach people across mobile and social channels. And then finally, I just wanted to mention how a lot of brands are starting to become publishers as well. So if you go to the Washington Post today, you see over here in the corner is a ad that is sponsored by GE. It's powered by RebelMouse, and GE is not saying how great GE is on the ad and buy our products. They're actually becoming a publisher. So for the next several months, they're running this media campaign called Pressing, where they've gotten journalists, well-known journalists from Slate, CNN, Fox News, to contribute content, and they're hosting a policy discussion that lives across all those different channels, as well as they have their own RebelMouse page where all the content is aggregated on gepressing.com. But it's pretty interesting because you go to Fox News and you see conversations from Slate or from CNN. So it's in a way a next generation crossfire, which is great for GE, the brand, because they don't have to tout themselves. They're talking about policy issues and they're reaching the policy-minded audience that they wanted to reach with this campaign. So that's basically what we do in a nutshell. We're for publishers, we're for brands who want to be publishers, and it's a full publishing solution built from the ground up for the social, mobile, real-time age. Questions, anyone? Yes.
Hi, thank you for the presentation. Could you say a little bit more about your business model?
Yeah. So we're an enterprise software as a service business model. There's a free application that anyone can use. That's $0. But if you want to use it in the way that GE is, with your own branding, where you're distributing content across paid media and other advanced features, there's a monthly subscription service.
So I'm curious about it for breaking news, for instance. Could you see it being used for that? Is there anybody who's doing it that way?
Absolutely, yeah. So you don't have to take over a whole page like you have here. A lot of people are using it as the social or trending topics widget on the right rail of their homepage. And there's a lot of intelligence that I didn't talk about behind the platform that will select for you which conversations have the most velocity or most trending in the moment, based not on interactions on your site, but on what's happening across social media in general. So it will, based on the rules you specify, it'll intelligently pull up content that will display, in the breaking news sections without having an editor have to intervene.
Other questions?
Can you just talk us through some of the advantages to using RebelMouse versus, say, WordPress and just pulling in a widget that will automatically pull in related tweets and Facebook posts and so forth?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the magic happens behind the scenes. So if you go to this content sources panel, for example, you don't have to bring in a third-party application that, like you said, is a Twitter widget. Here I can just set up Twitter rules, Facebook rules, Instagram native to within the platform. And I can go to the draft section and I can moderate things before they appear. So it's not just a full fire hose stream of everything coming at you. There's a lot of editorial controls. I could log into any post, change the headline. Maybe it was great when I posted it originally, but now I feel like the headline has moved on to something else. And then there's data and analytics in the background, because this is all natively integrated, that tells you what's trending, what's popular, what was posted by the most influential person, what performed well on your front page but not on the side tab. So that's a lot of stuff to custom integrate into WordPress. Maybe you could string a lot of things together, but this is a lot more turnkey.
So I am familiar with the Dodo, but I had no idea that it was RebelMouse. Is that the intended experience, that you are trying to be a white label thing, or are you going to try to shift more like in the direction of Tumblr, where the medium is part of the brand, sort of?
It's a little of both. We'll have a more Tumblr-esque model where people log in and contribute content to the RebelMouse community, and that will be the free product. That is the free product. And then there's this software as a service as our business model. So there'll be lots more of these white label sites where the branding everywhere is, except for down here, they actually volunteered to have RebelMouse on the site, but the branding everywhere is the dodo. And you log in even to the dodo. There's the dodo captures your email address during the login process. They're selling ads around this. They have no technical people on staff, no CIO or CTO. It's just 100% RebelMouse.
This is it's very cool. Seems like there's a lot of good stuff there already, but I've kind of a two-part question. What's on the roadmap, number one? And I guess the other way is, what were some of the, or what are some limitations that you've had to maybe work out, or some snags?
Yeah.
I guess I'm thinking particularly like if I had something, like how well does it handle, like if I have something embedded on a WordPress, does it come through perfectly over here, or are there any areas where you're like, oh, it can do most of what you want, but maybe not something else? I just want to kind of get a sense of some of the things you're still working out, or some of the things to come.
Well, it's a great question. We've frankly decided there's two models. One is where people like on Time Magazine or on this site on Bonnaroo, which is this festival that's coming up, they've embedded it on their WordPress site. And so WordPress is the header, the footer, and then all the fast-moving stuff in the middle is RebelMouse. It's a very easy plugin. But there are limitations to that plugin. Like, it's not as mobile responsive. It's on you to make sure that the header is responsive. Things like the GIFs playing in line and things like that. It doesn't have as modern a design. So this site, the Dodo, the Ann Curry site actually as well, there's no WordPress, there's no other code on the site. And we're able to do more things for those people, for those partners who want to go in that direction, but there's limitations. So it's most people don't want to migrate all of their archive content into a whole new system. So for them, we recommend keep all your old content on WordPress and create a new subdomain that's maybe fans at NBCnews.com or people.pcmagazine.com. So it's a new section of an old site, because it's really, as most people here who dealt with content know, it's a huge pain to migrate old content. So it works really great for like the Dodo, which is starting from a fresh start.
A couple more.
I got the mic. I'll ask. In terms of moderating, is it like a learn system?
Is it a learn system?
Yeah.
Not sure, exactly, but we have...
Like if you set up like a hashtag or something like that, and then you're pulling content in, instead of having to moderate it each time if it's like not suitable for work or something like that, is it going to be able to learn that that's flag appropriate content and stuff like that?
It's rules-based, so there's all these bad words that we've put into the system. We update that all the time. And then there is what we call charged words, which if your Coke, Pepsi is a charged word, so you want that removed from the queue. And then there's just content rules that people set up. Like some people say, I only want to automatically publish things from these Twitter handles. If it's my handle, I know that that's safe. If it's a third-party handle, I want to send it to moderation first. And if it has this hashtag, then I want my friend Cindy to look at it. So there's all those rules that you could set up based on what's published automatically versus what's reviewed by humans and which humans those are. Yeah.
Back here, actually.
Oh, sorry.
So I'm just curious, how did you end up partnering with the Dodo? Did you go out and sort of court the EIC, or how did that relationship come about?
Okay, that's the founder of RebelMouse and the CEO and chairman of RebelMouse were the CEO and chairman of Huffington Post, and that same team launched the Dodo. So sort of that type of relationship, and they're in our same building. So it's been great as an early mover and an early adopter. I think it's public that they already have well over 1 million uniques after just 6 weeks and no media spend. Is pretty incredible. So organically, I think it's also it's just great content. The idea, it's animal content, okay, that performs well, but it's animal content that has meaning to it. So it's about, how do you, relate to the animals in your life, your dog, your cat, or people actually log in and create petitions, say, help me save the rhino, help me, protect the dolphins. And so that cause, married with the interactivity of the RebelMouse platform, was a very perfect match.
Last one more.
Just as far as like the video hosting goes, are you guys like, are your clients just embedding like a YouTube link, or are you guys hosting the video independently? Like, is it like Tumblr in that respect? Do you know what I mean?
For video, that's all on YouTube or any number of third-party players.
Okay.
Brightcove, Uyala, GE, in that unit that I showed you. I think they have 4 different third-party players going on in one unit,
Right.
And we integrate that for them.
Okay.
Yeah. The only content we really host natively is text and images.
Is that something that you're thinking about working towards in the future?
I don't think so. I don't think that this replaces great sources for video hosting. You still want to, if you're going to post a video on YouTube, you should still do that. RebelMouse gives it a home and helps you extend the reach of that unit, sort of an archive, but also a reach mechanism for distribution. And I think there's a place for both things.
Cool. Last question for me. Any cool new stuff coming soon? Any new announcements, new features, new things?
We're really focused on mobile. We have a mobile app for editors on the fly, but we're focused a lot more on the mobile consumer app. So when you launch the Dodo site, you also get a Dodo mobile app, for example.
Cool. Great. Thank you.
Thanks.